What's up YouTube? Durbador Weldor coming at you with another video. Today we are going to be reviewing the Evolution S28 mag drill. This is the newer mag drill. They're newer 28mm because, you know, they're in Britain, so they go by millimeters. But inch and 1/8 here in America, you know, the numbers that made it to the moon, right? This drill right here is basically it's their smallest one, right? Inch and 1/8 is what it's rated for. It is their smallest drill. It's just a hair over $500. I got it from my local Roberts Oxygen, which is, I highly recommend Roberts Oxygen if you guys are in the Raleigh area. The Roberts Oxygen store is the bomb. They're the best welding supply store I've ever used, and I've used every single welding supply store here in Raleigh. So if you're in Raleigh, you want to go to Roberts Oxygen. But these guys here, at Roberts Oxygen, they were so good. They not only beat Amazon's shipping, they beat Amazon's price too. That is really tough to do, but they were able to do it. And so we're gonna review this thing here. We're gonna run some, you know, some different drill bits. I got the cheapest annular cutters off of Amazon, like the El Cheapo Amazon special kit for 80 bucks or something like that. And we'll run them and we'll test it all out. So I got this thing yesterday, not anticipating I would even need a drill at all today, and come to find out I did. Not really needed it, but immediately used it on its first job the day after I got it. So as you see right now, it's set up with a regular drill chuck. We can take that out, and then we install our annular cutters, right? And this drill chuck right here allows us to use just normal drill bits. What I was using earlier before my annular cutter setup came was I was just using a hole saw on this, and it works too. You don't have to use annular cutters, but annular cutters are awesome. They're fast and they are brutal. So if you don't know what a mag drill is and you're like, what the heck is this thing? Alright, it's a drill press with a giant electromagnet on the bottom. So I shall demonstrate. Look, see right there? We got our two giant electromagnets on it. I can tip it over right now. So now we hit this little switch on the back. And you can see just when I did that, it pulled itself to that plate. And look at that right there. Now it's holding itself to that plate. Is that awesome or what, guys? And I'm going to demonstrate how strong this magnet is right here. I mean, this is no light duty magnet. So I'm trying to tear this thing off here. Damn! It takes a lot of force to do that. And part of the reason it did that, if you look at the plate here, it's not, you know, it's not getting a really flush connection because of that right there. But even with that, if I put it right here where it's flat, it ain't happening. Yeah, it's not happening right there where it's flat. But even still, with this area right here where it's all goofed up, it's still got plenty good magnetic connection. We're going to do now, we're going to pull out our regular 1/2-inch drill chuck because, well, we don't need it. And this is the only annoying thing about this, and I think it'll clear up as I use it, is you notice as I work on it, this whole thing kind of slowly falls. And I think that's because they got it pretty well and greased up. So I think as some of this grease dries and stuff, it won't be slowly lowering itself like it is right now. I'm going to kind of take, these are set keys. So you can see we got these two little Allen bolts in there, and they press onto these flat edges right here, and that holds in our chuck. It doesn't use like a normal, it can use this, but for our annular cutters, see our annular cutters, I'll pull them out, and we're just going to go straight for the biggest one. You see our annular cutters have those flat edges too, right? Now you can't exactly, you know, the annular cutter doesn't fit up in here, and you need a really good connection for these annular cutters because there's a whole lot of tremendous amount of torque being put on these annular cutters as you work them. It is amazing how much force is put on these things. And I screwed up because I forgot the centering pin. So one of the things that mag drills have is a centering pin. Centering pin fits in the inside. Boom. So you can take your center punch, bam, make a mark, put this centering pin in the center punch, and that lines everything up. Also, you have, see the coolant line right here? There's a little, looks like almost like a pill bottle up here. We put WD-40 or some kind of drill coolant or whatever. I just use WD-40 because I got a bunch of it and it's pretty cheap and easy to get a hold of. But you see the line runs in here. And you can't do this with the normal drill chuck, but when it presses down, this pops open up like so. You can see there's a flat edge on it right there. And that flat edge right there allows the coolant to flow down into the middle. So it's automatically putting coolant out on your piece. So you ain't got to have a helper sit there with a spray bottle and spray WD-40 on there. Or you ain't got to sit there and take one hand off the drill and use a spray bottle to spray your WD-40 on there. It's all integrated. Alright? There's a pin right there. See, it's spring loaded too, so you gotta be careful. We found out, I was using Noah's DeWalt mag drill. This thing has a tendency to launch plugs, so you gotta be careful with that, alright? I'll get out our 40 WD. And see, this little just pops off, got a little slide thing right there. Woo! Alright, that's a bit much for what I'm going to be doing. But you can put so much coolant in here, you can literally sit here and drill for days. These little coolant bottles. You don't need a lot if you're only making a couple holes. You're going to pour a lot of it back into the... You're going to pour a lot of it back. You can see it's already dripping a little bit. So I see this isn't... And it's leak proof to start off with. Has some other mag drills that I've used. Our magnet. What's still on? There we go. Press this over here. Now, hang y'all up closer, you can see. I gotta readjust the drill height. So one of the things you probably will have to do, like I've discovered, is you will have to readjust the height of the drill itself right here. You can free adjust this right here on your center. And if you are using the regular chuck with normal drill bits, you're gonna have to adjust it. Now, we've got that out the way. Come over here, you can see, turn the coolant on, then you'll be able to see it. When this makes contact and the needle is pushed up in there, look at that. Look at all that coolant rushing out of there. Then I lift back up, and it's much less now. Let's go ahead and let's drill a hole with this bad boy. So our on button's right here. Now it won't let you drill if the magnet's off, right? See? Turn the magnet on. Now we can drill. Look at all that fun spinning metal. And our plug is stuck. How great. There we go. That's a little plug it makes. Yeah. Look at that. Look at them razor sharp edges on that bad boy right there. Woo! You could shave your face with that, I'll tell you what. There we go. Not too bad. Oh, that plug actually came out like it was supposed to. This time, let's turn on the coolant. Oh wow, this thing was like vibrating and shaking the table. And this stuff right here, I'm pretty sure them burrs probably ain't good to be, you know, getting near yous. They probably are full of like razors and bad stuff like that. Damn, I should just keep some needle nose pliers in my pocket. There we go. Love it. If y'all was wondering what size that was an 1/16 inch, and it's 1 inch deep. So they measure these annular cutters also by how deep they're rated to cut as well. And you see right there, 1 1/16 by 1. Alright, and if you were to use a deeper annular cutter, you would need a longer pin as well. So we're going to go over why annular cutters. Why not a twist bit, right? Why not the twist bit? Well, I'll show y'all something right here. Look on this twist bit right here. 1/2 inch twist bit. Look at all that surface area right there. That entire tip of that bit is having to dig through the steel to make the hole, right? Now, if we go over to, that's a 1/2 inch right there. Let's go over to our 1/2 inch annular cutter. Look at that right there. Oh, a big old hole in the middle. It only has to cut that outside edge, and then it has that plug that pops out in the middle of it. This would be a real small plug, maybe about 1/4 inch around. But how this works on the same premise as a hole saw. Very, very similar premise. So here's our hole saw. You're only cutting that outside edge. You ain't having to cut the whole distance from here to here. You're just cutting that outside edge out, and then you have that center plug. So really, all these are just much thicker hole saws. I mean, look at the teeth on the annular cutter here on the right versus the teeth on the hole saw on the left. I mean, this thing right here is going to last way longer than this hole saw, I guarantee you. And this hole saw is a freaking Lennox, and they make good hole saws. Alright, let's do a hole out of position. Because why not, right? Alright, look at this. 1/2 inch thick steel, horizontal, or whatever you want to call it, 2 1/16 holes. Like butter. And didn't break loose. Anybody
who's wondering what drill bits I'm using these Jitsu, however you say it. Very, very Chinese drill bits. I'm just keeping the Allen key wrench in here, but I love the warning. Prepare yourself with safety goggles. Another good selling point about this is it's nice and small. Look at that. It fits in the box. Plenty of other stuff. And I know I have an Evolution steel saw over here. They don't sponsor me. I just got the saw and was like, hey, they got a good saw, so let's give the mag drill a try. So, YouTube, what are my overall thoughts on this? Right now, it's great. I've only had it for a day. I've already used it on a job. It's fantastic. My personal opinion is this is the perfect starter mag drill. Like, you could get all this right here for roughly about $600. All right, your first annular cutter set, $80, $90, and your drill for roughly around $500. All right, it's fantastic. It's cheaper than most drill presses, and if you're doing field work, you gotta have one of these. You can't take a drill press into the field and do what this thing does. All right, so that's my quick little review. Thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, please be sure to hit that like button and subscribe. And just to let you know, I bought this. This was not sent to me. I bought this my own money. This is my honest opinions. All right, thank you guys, and y'all have a fantastic day.